Let's have a few thoughts about genuinely improving, and we stress genuinely improving at the awesome and peculiar game of golf.
It is an awesome and peculiar game. It's awesome when it's good, and it's peculiar when it's not so good. Listen, we're all in it for the same reason. We all want to continue improving the way that we play. Well, whether or not we're improving is going to be based upon our continuing experience with and exposure to the game. There are certain things we need to know about this game in terms of genuinely improving. Well, this is what the R3 approach is all about. It's based on decades of experience with the game, all the way from the beginning level, all the way up the competitive ladder through the professional tournament level player. Hey, if we're genuinely going to improve, it's going to have everything to do with how we're continuing to direct our thoughts and actions. And if we're not directing our thoughts and actions in the right way and at the right things, and at the right time for that matter, our genuine improvement in all likelihood will not occur. We'll become somewhat confused and lost with our game improvement effort, and we'll level out and not get that true game improvement that we're looking for. Well, again, the R3 approach is all about genuinely improving. It's all about facts and realities having to do with playing and improving at the game. The 6 components of the R3 approach helps to shape our approach, helps to frame our approach in terms of genuinely improving at the game. Component number 1, the 5 universal laws. This is our starting point. These 5 universal laws are immutable. They're unchanging. They're the same now as they've always been and always will be. So if we're a beginner completely new to the game, this is our starting point. And if we've had a great deal of experience with the game, it continues to be our starting point, because these things are facts that we have to understand about truly playing the game at our best. The next 5 components continue to shape our path. Component number 2, the 4 perspectives, simply points out the fact that we will be directing our thoughts and actions from 4 different perspectives as we're involved with this awesome and peculiar game. Then component number 3 is a blueprint of the complete player, for that matter. It shows the 16 characteristic traits that we all possess. We all possess these 16 characteristic traits. And it's a fact that in terms of genuinely improving at the game, we're the architect of our own game. Well, if we're going to be a good architect, it helps to have a good blueprint, and this is what component number 3 is in the R3 approach. Then components 4 and 5 have to do with our golf swing. Hey, our golf swing is essential to playing the game, so if we're genuinely going to improve that golf swing, in other words, if we're going to have it become more mechanically sound and physically athletic, it's going to be because we understand what we're working on. We understand the intent and the purpose of our practice when we do practice. So it's essential that we're practicing effectively in order to genuinely improve, right? Well, this is what components 4 and 5 will tell us. These 2 components of the R3 approach explain the kinds of things that we should be continuously and persistently directing our thoughts and actions towards in terms of building a more mechanically sound and physically athletic golf swing. It also tells us how we can effectively go about practicing in terms of having that objective, obtaining that objective, that is. And then component number 6 of the R3 approach is the PPA cycle. Hey, it's a fact that if we are genuinely going to improve the way that we play, it's going to be because we're becoming better tacticians, actually, when we're out there on the golf course playing. It's a tenet of the R3 approach that when we play this game, we're both player, competitor, teacher, and coach all at the same time. Well, when we take those 4 roles collectively, it makes us all students of the game. And as students of the game, we're all looking to continue learning more and discovering more about this awesome and peculiar game. In the R3 approach, we actually begin the whole process of our game improvement with an overall objective, a mission statement, if you will. And in the R3 approach, we like to say that we want to continue having fun with our game development process, continuing to develop our game to the point where it can be seen and felt to be a mechanically sound, physically athletic, and tactically fluid process for playing the game. Well, this is a good overall strategy. It really covers everything about the game that we're going to need to direct our thoughts and actions towards. It kind of helps keep us on point in terms of continuing to, again, direct that thought and action toward the right things in the right way and at the right time. Starts off with understanding that when we're working on our game, we're going to need to have good information. When we're working on our swings, for instance, it's quite essential that we have some good video feedback. With today's technology and whatnot, we can validate that what we think we're doing, we're actually doing when we swing a golf club. So it's these kinds of things that we need to be aware of and have some exposure to in terms of that continuing experience with and exposure to the game. This is what's required in order to genuinely improve. And this is what the R3 approach is all about. So have a look at the information contained here in the R3 approach, and then we'll look forward to talking about some things that will help you to provoke some thought and generate some enthusiasm about your game, and then ultimately help to direct your efforts in a little better way. Okay, let's all continue having fun with our game development process, and as we say in the R3 approach, let's all continue doing good work.